Hi everyone, it's Chris. Welcome to my parlour, and today I'm doing something quite different. I'm going to be doing a full deck reading for one person, whoever it may be that it relates to. So this is like over the next 12 months. So the next year I'm going to use a whole deck to find out what's going to be happening. And yeah, so just pour a cup of tea to find out how we progress through the year. So first of all, I'm just going to shuffle the deck. Full deck reading, just for 12 months. I can't riffle shuffle. So the energy for the next 12 months, because this just popped out, so I reckon this would be the energy for the month, for the 12 months, and that's a pretty good card to receive, indicating that it's going to be a time of quite a few celebrations. So there's going to be quite a few completions of things that you've been working on. There's going to be joy coming in. There's going to be some really satisfying moments in your life the next 12 months. And I can think only that it's going to be quite a productive year for you. Perhaps one that is going to culminate in success. So I'm going to leave the cards here for the time being. Turn over the first card. This is going to be like the overall energy of how it's going to start. So the year is going to start off with a bang, and it's going to start off with action, a lot of up and going sort of stuff. It's going to indicate that you will be following whatever it is that you set out for this year. So this year is a year of planning for you. Next year is a year of putting it into action. So if there's something you want done next year, start the planning right now, because next year you will have a favourable outcome if you keep your motives and your focus quite on the goal and put in the action to get there, because the King of Wands likes to put into action. He's a fire sign, so he's ready to move forward. So make your plans now, and next year put them into action, and you'll be able to celebrate a lot of things coming through for you. And the bottom card is contemplating. There will be a fair bit of soul searching too next year, and you'll wonder where your next goal is. So I'm sensing that you'll be finishing a lot of projects, not quite knowing where to start the next one. If you want to avoid that, of course, it's time for you to start planning right now, step by step. Small goals that you are easily attainable, and each goal that you set for yourself, have a plan in action about what you're going to do before the next one, so you can avoid the emotional need to just sit and wait for the next opportunity. Does that make sense? So plan for your opportunities, plan for what you're going to do between those opportunities, so you don't get involved in that mishmash of wondering what you're going to be doing next, and perhaps feeling as though, well, you've accomplished this, so what else is there to do? It's sort of like, it's coming down to planning on what it is that you want to do. So you can avoid the in-between wondering. Does that make sense to you today? Now I'm going to divide this up into 12 little groups. Okay, so January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So let's go through it month by month and see what might be happening. You're going to be starting out on an adventure. So this is like taking a chance. Don't forget to take a chance and don't be afraid of taking chances, because I think you need to take an opportunity at face value. There won't be a lot of time to plan, but you want to set into action a lot of things, but you don't want to worry about them. So this is like taking a situation at face value, but know that overall it's going to bring about a sense of satisfaction. Someone will try and stall you sometime in January. They have their own agenda, you have yours, theirs and yours don't mix, so there will be a time when there's a bit of conflict and you wonder whether it's all worthwhile, but it certainly will be worthwhile. They just have a different agenda to you, and sometimes we just have to accept that and try not to niggle at it, because once you start niggling at it, they will start niggling back. So if there's someone in your life in next year that just has a different gender to you, just let them go by it. You haven't lost anything, and let them go. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Especially not worth the anxiety that it's going to cause you. So if you're an anxious person anyway, be prepared for a little bit of anxiety in this regard, because they're not playing by the rules, but you wanted to play by the rules. So just allow them to do what they wanted to do, so you can avoid the anxiety, you can avoid the wondering. So because definitely a new opportunity presents itself to you in January, it's going to be a very important one, and one that you want to accomplish. So it's like turning your back on things that aren't agreeable to you. It's not about not compromising or anything else like that. It's about understanding that other people have different ideas, because you've got a new opportunity opening up to you in January, a really important one. So leave the anxiety behind. Take the opportunity at face value and go for it. Because it's certainly going to bring about a time of nourishment, a time of feeling satisfied with what you've accomplished, and being able to put a little bit aside and realise that not just money, but emotional reserves, strength, vitality, to know that you're doing the right thing. So January is going to be a time of knowing what you want, and knowing that it's going to be successful and the hard work is going to be worth it. Then you have the Queen of Cups, and she comes through as emotional, strong woman, or a person that you know, or could be you as well, knows that her emotional value as well. And sometimes the Queen of Cups will take care of other people's needs and leave her own behind. But I think this card is coming through as saying take care of your needs too in January, especially with the person that isn't playing fair with you. Understand their motives, and then strengthen yourself for the next phase, because there's a lot of things that you can see that you want, and it's certainly coming through for you. You can't quite grasp it yet, but you know there's an opportunity out there. You've seen that opportunity. You've seen the opportunity and you wanted to go for it. But it is certainly perhaps taking it at face value. But certainly January is a time of moving forward and seeing those opportunities and taking them. Being emotionally aware of what's ahead of you, because the hard work is going to be worthwhile. There will be some anxiety because someone else thinks they know better than you perhaps, or they just have a different agenda. What you're going to do about that, I don't know, but it might cause you a little bit of anxiety at the time, but I think overall it's going to be a worthy month for you. February. Let's have a look and see how that goes. Generosity of mind and spirit. Giving and taking. This could be of money or could just be of your personal belief system. It could be emotional security as well that you're sharing with other people. But it's more likely a bit of give and take this month. In February, it's going to be an okay month for you. You'll have more than you need, perhaps, because we're talking about here with the 9 of Pentacles. That you've worked hard for what you've got and you will receive what you need. You may have enough left over to share that with somebody else or with the community. So it's a good month already starting up. You already have more than you need. So it's going to be a very successful beginning of February for you. There's also a union coming up here, perhaps sharing responsibilities with someone that believes in you, that you are on the same wavelength with, someone that you care about, someone that you want to start a partnership with, perhaps. Perhaps this is like sharing your emotions too, sharing your excuse me, sharing your prosperity with, perhaps even making a commitment to someone. Whether or not that's a love commitment or a business commitment, I'm not too sure, but it's like joining forces with somebody who actually believes in your cause. Ideas abound with the Page of Swords comes along. Lots of different ideas. How practical they are, it's up to you to decide, but I think some really good ideas are here. So it talks about study, it talks about learning new skills and moving forward with those. Excuse me. Talking about the union, there's a commitment coming up here, very, very important commitment coming up in regards to this person and in regards to sharing. So look, maybe there's going to be a commitment made, learning how to share parts of your life in whatever aspect that might mean for you. Happiness is on the horizon. Feeling really happy about yourself and your home. And then the Page of Wands comes through with some more ideas to move you forward into the next month. So overall, February is going to be a good month for you. Making a commitment, making everything happen for you. I like February's month. A lot of good things happening. A lot of positive things happening for you. That leads us into March, doesn't it? Because you've got some brand new ideas. So let's find out what March is going to be coming through for. I'm going to have a sneak peek. Some cards in here you might be concerned about, but please allow me to give you an indication of what they mean and what I'm sensing coming through here. Not every month can be a wise and wonderful month. So there's something that is left behind. I'm sensing this is more to do with your commitment here. There might be something you might need to leave behind. You might need to leave behind your old residence. You might be moving into a new home. You might be moving into a new job. That sort of thing comes through here. And you need to leave something behind. Even leaving things behind for something much, much better can sometimes cause us to feel a little bit of grief. We're leaving behind something that we've known. We're leaving behind things that have made us comfortable, and we have to start again. So I think March is a time of leaving something behind and starting again. And to accept that sorrow, to acknowledge that sorrow, and realize that you're leaving behind things that you no longer need anyway, because you're moving into something brand new. It's calling you to leave behind guilt. It's calling you to leave behind anything from the past that you haven't used, you don't want anymore. Let go, free yourself for the new opportunities coming through for you in March. March might be a time of introspection. It's a time of thinking perhaps about what it is that you want to do next. You've made a big change coming through in February, so March is a time of thinking about what you're going to be doing next. And we talked about that a little bit earlier. Make plans for those times, how you're going to cope with them. Because even leaving behind things for the good things can sometimes make us feel a little bit sad and gloomy. But then the judgment comes through and says, this is like destiny calling you here too, that this is the choice that you made, a necessary choice, and one that you will find quite beneficial, but let go of the old baggage so you can bring in the new stuff, the new things that you're looking for. Even if it's a bit of a burden for you. Excuse me, I need a drink. Even if it's a bit of a burden for you, sometimes, you know, the new things, it could be a mortgage coming up, it could be a new job coming up, it could be a new addition to the family coming up, and you think, how am I going to cope with it? What am I going to do with it? That's all part of the package in March, learning how to cope with the stresses and strains of a new life, of things that are happening for you, brand new things. And yes, sometimes that is a bit of a struggle, but the struggle is going to be worth it because the wish card comes up here. And you think, wow, I finally received what it is that I want, and everything that is falling into place for me. And I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with that, with that enjoyment of things, the satisfaction coming through. So it's all going to be worth it. Everything that you're happening for you in March is going to be worth it. You've got some interesting cards coming up as well. So let's go through those. Again, not being afraid of them. Seek a second opinion if there's something that's happening in your life and you're not thinking, sounds a bit dodgy. Take a second opinion, because there's a lot of information that is hidden somewhere, but you'd have to seek it. So there might be some research coming through here. There might be a second opinion, either, you know, in whatever form that might take in your present time. I can't quite see that far ahead of what it might be, but seek that second opinion, because there is something you don't know. Something you don't know. So seek a second opinion. Working with others comes through here as well. So when you're seeking that second opinion, it looks like you'll need to involve other people in that. So I think this is coming through to the end of March, that you will need to work with others to find out what it is that you need to know. Working in collaboration with somebody. It could be some changes at work too. You might be in a new team, for example. There might be some new team members coming into your work. There might be new employees coming through here, and you will need to perhaps work together on a project. But I think there's something to be uncovered here. So there might be something to do with work that needs to be finalised and understood, because there's just something not quite kosher about it, and you wonder about that. So dig deep in something, but work with others to find out what the answer is. There's an ending coming up, an ending of all strife and all bother. You feel as though finally you've reached the section here, and you think there's nowhere else but up. So don't be scared of this card. Some people are scared of this card, but I don't think it's anything to be worried about. I don't see it as being betrayed or anything else like that, like some people think. So this is just like it's a finished, final, okay, I've done it. I've worked it out what it is, and I can feel satisfied now to start again. All those worries, those concerns are finished, because you understand what the situation is. You understand what the missing part is. You understand how other people are involved in it. It answers a lot of questions for you, and you can finalise those feelings and those thoughts and understand that it's all finalised now. There's nowhere else but up in this situation. So don't be scared of this card. It's a finality in the so much as that it is a time for you to understand and accept things on an intellectual level, and understand that you do know those answers now, and you can finalise something. Then take a rest. It's a busy month for you in March, so take a rest and understand, because you don't want to contemplate too much, but you do want to take a rest. And so this might be a holiday coming up for you. Take a weekend off, go somewhere special with somebody else, with your special person perhaps. Take a weekend off and enjoy yourself. This is about enjoying yourself and giving yourself some recuperation to recharge for the next month coming up. And the ending of March is a really good card to receive, the Magician, because it says that all your ducks are in a row and you have yourself to be proud of, because you've put all your ducks in a row. So you can start off January, February, March, April in a really good space, because you know that everything is finalised, everything is done, and you can be proud of your achievements because you've done it yourself. So we're coming into January, February, March, April. What's going to be happening in April? Well, I'm going to take a bit of a sneak peek. It's a good month for you in April. It's going to be focusing on work. April is work time and study time. So you might be actually learning, going back to school perhaps, or taking a night course, or learning something brand new, even if it's just a hobby. You might be expanding your skills in an area that you know is important to you. Hard work and determination comes through in April with this card. It's indicating a time of knuckling under, putting your nose to the grindstone and getting things done. The Knight of Pentacles. He's a very reflective personality. He knows there's things to do on a practical level. Maybe to do with work or your home on a practical level. Perhaps even renovations that you can do yourself. Or do you need to outsource? There might be something that you can do yourself. And I think that could be coming through with the Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. Because he's a very practical fellow. He knows what's what. He knows how to do things, but he's not quite ready to move forward yet. So he's waiting. He's planning. He's organising. So it's a busy month for you to do things that you can do. Contemplate who you need to bring in, to outsource perhaps, and then you can move forward with that on a very practical level. This is a very practical level. Financially, work-wise, home-wise, okay? Some decisions to make. Balancing the books, perhaps. Working out how much you can do and how much you need to outsource. How much money it takes, how much you got in your bank. It's a lot of things here. How much of work and play can you take away some time from work to do this renovation, for example? Or do you need to work more to make this project, whatever it is, doesn't necessarily mean a renovation, but something in your life needs to be adjusted. You can do it or you can't do it. So there might be a time here of juggling the books to find financially, perhaps even. There's structure that needs to be followed as well. The Hierophant can also mean structure, can mean sticking by the rules. There's no going off on a tangent. There's no point in taking shortcuts. Play by the rules here to make things worthwhile, to make it really, really good. Then you can feel satisfied with what you've achieved. The King of Cups is very, he knows the emotional value of things, but he also knows how to hold those emotions, when to show those emotions. So it's a time of understanding how emotionally satisfying this month is going to be. It's going to be an emotionally satisfying month. It's going to be a trying month, but it's going to be overall a satisfying month for you. It's going to end on a very positive note in April. So what comes after April? May. So what's going to be happening for you in May? Let's have a look. We've only got 3 cards for May. A lot of fiery energy. Male and a female. Looking forward. These are the cards for May. Looking forward to something very new. Something's been finalised in April. You're looking forward now to something brand new. What's going to be happening for you? A lot of fiery energy comes through with the Queen and the Knight of Wands. So you're going to be doing it with somebody else. There's a partnership here. A very passionate, very powerful, very I just see a lot of sparks, a lot of triumph coming through here for May, because you're both going to be looking for something brand new. You finish something, you finalise something in April. It's time to move forward now into something brand new. But there's a lot of fire and passion here. Sparks fly in this combination of the Queen and Knight of Wands. 2 fire signs getting together. Anything's possible. Ignite that passion. Ignite the ideas. Ignite the way forward here. The Queen will make the rules and the Knight will follow through. So there's a bit of a power struggle here, but I think it's going to be one that you both want and quite satisfied with, because you're both headed in the same direction. So the Queen, the boss, is going to be taking charge, but the Knight is going to be the one that makes all the details and all the action worthwhile. There could be a holiday coming up. There could be an overseas connection here, but whatever it is, 2 of you are going to be moving forward with it, with a lot of passion, a lot of getting through that. So June. Interesting. Hands on the card here, don't be scared of it, because I like to get it, because it means something very important. But I'll go through them one at a time for you. We are January, February, March, April, May, June. June. June is the middle month of the year. It's the hump month. And it's certainly coming through that way. Because you've still got brilliant ideas. You've got the Page of Pentacles. There's a brilliant idea that's coming through here. And you know it's a very practical idea. You know it can work. You still have to do a little bit of tweaking with it. You just got to put it on the planning board. But it's an idea that's worthwhile taking a chance on. But contemplate it. How are you going to work it? How are you going to make it work? Because you're not the only one involved in this anymore. So start thinking about what it is that you want. Even if you need to take some time out to think about it, not do anything else for a while. Shut yourself behind the door and start planning something. Find yourself a sacred space and go there every day if you need to, just to work out the nitty-gritty, the fine details. And then when you emerge from this time of reflection, you'll know which way to head. Because there's a different way of coming through here. Balance in all things. As with everything else, balance it. Because the next card here I'm going to show you, there's definitely a change about to happen. So if you don't want it to fall and crumble about your ears, think about it very carefully and work out what it is that you want. Balance everything to make it work. Or if you can't make it work, change your mind, okay? Because the next card coming up is the Tower. The Tower means that something wasn't built on a solid foundation. So there's a sudden change, a sudden change in direction, a sudden think, oh no, I can't do this now after all, and it comes tumbling down. But this means also that you can rebuild. So if it doesn't work out, don't worry too much, you can rebuild on it. But there's definitely a time for you to make that really strong foundation. How are you going to balance everything to make that happen? What are you going to add to this, take away from that sort of thing here? Pay Peter to pay Paul. That sort of thing's coming up through for you. So really concentrate on what it is that you want. Think about that, because there's some brilliant idea coming through. But make it solid. Make it solid as you can, so you don't get the crumbling, you don't get that having to try again. Okay, there's a sudden change coming for you in June. It's the end of the hump month, and they're certainly bringing you into July with either starting out really strong or starting again. So how are you going to feel about that in July? Let's find out what's happening in July. It's an interesting month for you in July. I think the Tower from June sends you back to the drawing board. Sends you back to the drawing board. So something definitely happens in June that sends you back to the drawing board, because things, I think I think it needs to be redone. It wasn't strong enough. So something you've decided to do in June wasn't strong enough, and you needed to send you back to the drawing board to try again. So it's really important for June to make that foundation as solid as you can, because you don't want to have to go back to the drawing board, but it looks like you might be going to do that. So a lot of thinking and a lot of planning to do in July. And when it comes down, the thinking, the replanning, it's going to bring about a little bit of a sorrow. It's going to bring about a time of, oh, do I have to go through all this again? I'm sorry to say, yes, you will. Something wasn't solid enough in June, so it's going to bring about a little bit of disappointment, and oh, I've got to start again. Sorry, yes. July is a time of regrouping and reorganising and starting again. And you're feeling as though, feel a bit defeated, as though I've put all these plans into action. I've tried so hard to make it solid. Now I have to feel as though, I'm out on my own. But not all is lost. Not all is lost, because the sun comes out. So it's a time of thinking, okay, maybe it was a blessing in disguise that it didn't work out. You've been planning, but it didn't work out. But that's okay. It's a blessing in disguise. You may be feeling a little bit sad about it. Maybe feeling a bit upset about it. It feels like, oh God, I have to start all over again. But it might have been a blessing in disguise after all, because you've got the sun that comes out and warms it up and sends you some more enthusiasm and feeling as though that you wanted to do something about it. Does that make sense? And then you can either leave it all behind and move on to something else, which I think you might be needing to do in July. You might be thinking, okay, it didn't work out. Okay, that's okay. I can move on to something brand new. I can move on to something brand new and start again. And that's okay. We all have moments like that. August. Some good ideas here. August is a good month for you, because you've walked away from something now and you're headed into something really, you've got more enthusiasm to start again. And you think, yes, I'm charging forward here. I'm doing exactly what it is that I need to do. I know now where I'm headed. I know the mistakes I've made. I can now change that and move forward with determination. I can change my luck. Yes, you can. You can change your luck, and you're in charge of that luck. This is a new cycle coming up for you, and one that is very important, and it's one of those do or die moments. Do you do it? Yes, I think you take a chance on something, because Destiny steps in here and gives you an idea, and you can run with it. You can run with it because, yeah, you're out of the doldrums now. You're out of July's doldrums, and you're headed in for something brand new. Take a chance on it. Destiny is stepping in here, giving you a brand new sense of achievement, a brand new idea that, yes, I'm in control now. I've went through all of that. I understand my mistakes. I know now how to build something stronger, and I can do that. It's going to be a very quick month, August, and it's going to bring about a lot of opportunities very quickly. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for a lot of activity, a lot of movement in August. It's an emotional time. It could be an emotionally unsettling time, but I think your ideas are about to fulfill you emotionally. You're going to feel a sense of fulfillment. They feel as though, yeah, things are falling into place for you. Yeah, it's going to be an emotional month for you in August, but one that is emotionally satisfying, I think. Ta-da! You're taking in September in a very positive frame of mind. A very, very positive frame of mind, with lots of ideas just waiting to happen, waiting to burst forth into September. What's going to happen in September? September, interesting time for September. Do I show them to you? Do I keep you waiting with bated breath? I think so. Okay, you've got some brilliant ideas now, haven't you? Brilliant ideas, and you know that you're in charge of something. Know the full facts. Know everything, because you don't want to head into September blindfolded. You want to know exactly what is there, because things are under the skies of the moon. Things sometimes get hidden in the dark. So know exactly everything. Plan, plan, plan. So you can plan for all circumstances, good, bad, indifferent. Plan for everything so there's no surprises. Okay, you don't want to be surprised this month. You want to know exactly what it is that's happening. No delusions. It's going to take all your strength to do this, but you can do it. You can do it. You've got lots. You've been through so much already, and you've got a little bit more further to go, of course, but you are strong enough to be able to do this. So strength and fortitude comes through here. Very powerful indication here, because everything seems to be, yeah, by the middle of September, things seem to be turning in your favour, and you feel as though finally my cup is running over with enthusiasm and positivity. Oh, and your relationship's going pretty well too. A renewal of your faith in each other, renewal of your love comes through here as well. Remember, we're talking about the moon, so we're also talking about making those decisions. Is someone whispering in your ear and you're thinking, oh, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? This is the Two of Swords, so it's a lot of thinking and practical here, going through here. So know what you're thinking and why you're thinking it. Make the decisions logically, not with your emotions. You're feeling pretty good. So don't base your decisions on how you're feeling at the moment. Base your decisions on what you know, so you can avoid any illusions, okay? You don't want to go into this with any illusions, because it's a very important month for you to make some decisions for the rest of the year. So make them very carefully, make them logically, with a clear mind. Don't put all your money in one basket. Diversify with your finances here coming through as well. If you're sitting on something financially, how beneficial is it for you to sit on it? Can you utilize it for more at this time to bring something into your life? Because I'm thinking you're sitting on some finances that perhaps you're just waiting to have it for a rainy day. But I think the rainy day is coming. Can you utilise your finances? Can you rearrange your finances? And perhaps even not sitting on something, but reveal it. Does that make sense? You're fairly stable financially, but there's a little bit of financial jiggling and juggling that needs to happen here. So don't sit on too much of it. Can you utilise something to lessen your restrictions? So I think there might be some financial restrictions coming up for you in, what was it, September? September. So release some of those finances so you're not so restricted, okay? Because you can feel as though you haven't got enough money, but I think you do have enough money. You just have to jiggle and juggle your finances so you can release yourself for something really good. So there might be, for example, an investment coming into maturity and you're still waiting for it. But it's restricting you at the moment. So you feel restricted by your finances. So there might be a little bit more time to wait for that. But if you can wriggle and jiggle a little bit to keep you flowing here, waiting for the investment to mature. Does that make sense? So there might be a time of a little bit of a financial struggle, a bit of pinched financially, but it's all going to turn out. But what can you do here at the moment to release a little bit of finances so you don't feel so restricted while you're waiting for the payment or something else like that? Maybe you've been working and you're waiting for payment, but it's been delayed for some reason. What can you do with your finances to help you through that with September? Okay, coming into October. Oh, interesting. I like October. October's a good month for you. We're talking about finances here in September. And we're talking about lessening those finances. And once you've received the money, like most people do, we sort of don't put it aside for what we really need, but what we want. So you might be tempted to spend that money on something frivolous. Please don't. If you're feeling tempted to spend your money on something that you think, well, maybe I can just spare a little bit for this thing here, try to avoid that. Try as much as you might to avoid temptation to spend or do anything in October that can change anything for the rest of the year. Okay, so keep your temptations at bay. Okay, keep temptations at bay. With the Knight of Cups comes through here, he's feeling emotionally secure. He's feeling emotionally as though, yeah, I can move forward with this. But you see the horse's head bound. You're not ready to move forward with it yet. So resist temptation because you're not quite ready to move forward with what you already have. So why add temptation to the mix? You know, this might be a time of emotional stalling, thinking, oh, where do I want to go from here? What will make me feel really good? But you're not quite ready to proceed yet. So hold back a little bit. Avoid temptation as much as possible to divert you from your path until you're ready to move forward again. Does that make sense for you in October? Because success is imminent. You don't want to have a moment of pleasure and miss out on the success. So success is coming through for you. You just have to wait a little bit. Stall yourself a little bit. Resist the temptation because success is imminent. Okay, don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. Success is imminent for you in October. And the cycle will finalise in October. Everything culminates. Everything that you've been going through for the whole year so far, it results in attainment. It results in a brand new situation. Finally, you finish. Everything's completed by October. Oh, so interesting, isn't it? Everything's finalised by October. So do not give in to temptation. There could be a time of abundance and fertility coming through here. Creative ideas, the juices are flowing. Maybe a new idea comes through. Maybe something starts in October that it's fertile and ready to produce. So nurture it. Nurture it. Something to worth nurturing. And you've got the Queen and King of Pentacles. So the partnership here has stabilised. It's no longer the fiery passion, but it's stabilised into something very positive, and just feels as though you belong, you're melding together. You've got two sun signs that are practical and down to earth and family. So there could be an addition to the family coming through for you in October, or the starting of a new addition to the family. Nurture it. So you're going to end up with financially, you're going to end up quite okay. End of the cycle by October, and the beginning of a new one, a new family organisation here perhaps. Just feeling satisfied with everything that you have, ready to start something brand new. So October finalises everything for the year. And November and December seems to be the start of something brand new for you. Let's find out what that might be. Oh, November, it's going to be quite okay for you. Again, we've got the Queen of Swords. Something to do with someone who is very determined. She knows what's what, or he knows what's what. It doesn't so much the gender here, it's about the personality. And they're very self-assured. So this is a time of being so certain of what it is that you want, and not allowing others to interfere with that. So you can state exactly what it is that you want. Okay, so state what you want. Believe in yourself enough. Believe in what it is that you want to start in November to finalise the year, that you're not afraid to voice that. Because things work out in your favour. Justice appears and things are balanced here. Good, bad, indifferent. Everything just seems to be flowing in a balanced way. So long as you are capable of saying exactly what it is that you want, having the strength and the fortitude to believe in yourself and believe in what it is that it's coming through for you with the Queen of Swords. Because justice comes through, it gives you the indication that things are moving the way it needs to be moving. Things working out in your favour. So if there's like a legal thing, or financial or contractual wise, things like that, work wise, things work out in your favour. So there may be a need to balance the needs of yours and needs of others, but standing firm in what it is that you believe in with the Queen of Swords. And that brings about some choices, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, choices. What's next year going to be after this one? So many delicious choices. One's right for you, maybe two or three might be right for you, but one is certainly standing out as the viable choice. Does it serve justice? Does justice serve the choice? Is it the one that really needs to happen? Is it the right one? Does it fit in with what it is that you want? Otherwise it's going to become a burden. And you think, oh my God, another time something else happens and you think, oh, I've worked so hard for this, I'm not giving up on it, I'm not giving up on it. This is what I want, this is what I'm going to be fighting for, and I'm ready to fight again. I'm ready to defend myself. I had a little bit of a recuperation, but I can do this. I can do this, and I can start again. Just give me a few minutes. Just give me a few minutes to recoup, to restock, and I will do it again. So there's something definitely that you need to stand up for yourself with, and be prepared to start again, and if you need to. But I don't think you need to leave anything behind. I don't think it's not starting from afresh. It's just starting from where you are right now and being prepared to keep going with it. So in November, there's something that needs to be kept status quo You really need to keep it as much status quo as you can, so you can continue. Okay? Memories are stirred so much here. Memories are stirred. And a commitment made. A solid, permanent commitment. Solid commitment. How much do you want it? Oh, because this is a lifetime thing. This is not just for tomorrow or the next day. This is for decades. To death do you part kind of commitment here. And the memories are stirred here. So November's a time of commitment and not giving up. Continuing with what you know. December. Interesting. Okay. We're talking about not giving up. Not giving up and continuing with what you have because you know it's right and you don't want to change anything. You just don't want to change anything. You want to keep with the status quo because it's feeling quite good for you. And it's feeling as though everything is falling into place for you. But you don't want to give up. You don't want to give up. You want to keep it, but you just need a bit of a break. You just need to know that, yeah, I'm doing okay, but I just need to stop for a minute and recoup, regroup, and reorganise and recharge. So defend your right to do that. You may feel as though you think, oh, why do I have to defend myself? We defend ourselves every day in some aspects. We feel as though we're standing up for ourselves, we're standing up for our rights. And I think that's what's coming through here for you in December. You're standing up for what you've done, what you've completed for the whole year. Because you've got the world, remember? And that means it's a completion. So things have been completed. Perhaps there's a new direction that you're taking in December. You've made some changes. You're making some changes. You can defend them because it's your right to do so. It's your right to make the decisions that you're making. Okay? Just remember that for December. Because other people, oh God, some other people are jerks, aren't they? They try and take away our happiness because they're not so happy with themselves and they think, well, why should you be happy? So you might feel as though you're defending yourself. You're defending your right to be happy. You're defending your right to make the decisions. But it's your right to make them. Okay, so defend yourself as much as you need to because you've got the right to make what it is that you want. Okay, don't be scared of this card because it's had to come up eventually. It's come up in December for you. But it means when I receive it, I feel as though, yeah, it's necessary. And, you know, you've been defending yourself for this right, for this change, okay, for that new beginning. So don't be scared of this card, the death card. It means a change that is inevitable and one that you've been defending from the start. You've been defending this change. You've been defending this new beginning for yourself right from the start. And it's yours for the taking because destiny has decided, yeah, okay, I'm going to step in here and I'm going to help you with this one. I'm going to help you make this decision. I'm going to help you make this change because you've been fighting for it for the last couple of months, haven't you? Since November, you've been fighting for this right of yours to make this change. And you're going, by God, you're going to do it and the universe will help you. Okay? So something definitely is finishing completely so something brand new can start. And it's going to bring about so much contentment for you. Finally, you've made this change and you feel so happy about it. You feel as though, yes, everything we've been through has been worth it. So December, it's going to bring about some change and it's going to bring about satisfaction. And you are moving forward. The travel comes through here as well. Being in charge of that travel. How are you going to get there? When you're going to go? Where you're going to go? Be in charge of the destination. But be in charge of the journey, more importantly. It's not so much the destination, but it's the journey. And you are in charge of how you get there. You are in charge of the timing, everything. Take on the emperor persona and be strong, determined, fair. The emperor is fair. It takes in all people's concerns, works them through, and decides what's fair. So take on that persona. Be strong, determined, but take on the persona of the emperor. Because by golly, December's going to end up with something really positive for you. Finally, things are working out. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Then, then you think, what am I going to be doing next? Everything's finalised now. Everything's ready to make this big brand new change. And you think, hang on a minute. What do I do now? What do I do now? It's a bit more like this one. What do I do now? I'm hanging about now because plans take time. You've put it all into action, yes, and you're in charge of how fast it goes and where you go. But things take time sometimes. Things take time. So hang in there. Don't let go. Hang in there. Hang in there through all those stallings, because you can't control what other people do. You can't control what happens in the future, how other people's involvement in here changes your plans. Hang in there. Don't let go. Please, do whatever you do, don't let go. Because you're going to be leaving all those worries or those concerns behind you and moving forward into your new destiny for the next year, following year after this one. So you're moving forward. You're letting go of all those bad stuff, all that crap, and moving into something brand new for yourself. So trust yourself, especially for the next phase. You know where you wanted to go. You and your partner, whoever you're taking with you. Trust yourself, trust the journey, trust the universe to provide for you. But best of all, trust yourself more than anything else. So what do you think? Was that interesting for you? I need a new drink. Well, it was a new idea that I had. I hope it was helpful for you and gave you an idea of what's going to be happening next year. The next 12 months. We've still got a few more months left this year. This is not this year's layout for you. It's next year's layout starting in January. So make all the plans this year for what you want to do next year, so you're not just sitting around waiting for things to happen, because you've got things to do and you've got places to go and you've got things to celebrate. So make all the plans for every diversion, every single possible thing that could go wrong, or everything that can go right, whatever. Make all the plans for what you're going to do if those things happen. So when they do happen, you know what to do next. Okay, so overall you've got a good year coming up. A lot of changes. Set your foundation very solid. If you're going to start something, make sure it's you do it every bit of the way perfectly, so things don't fall down, and then you can move forward. Okay, so hopefully that's helped you, and until next time everyone, so many blessings. Oh.